Yeah, let's go ahead and close it, all right. Safety sake.
Okay.
All right, welcome everyone to the Town of Union City Board meeting, March 11th, 2024, at 6 p.m. 101 North Elm Avenue, Union City, Oklahoma. Chad, could you say prayer for us?
Lord, we just thank you for this day. Thank you for bringing everyone here. Lord, we just pray for the decisions that are made as what's best for the town. And Lord, that's what we're here for. Hope everyone has pray that everyone has a safe trip home. Thank you. Amen.
Keith?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Bob McGregor.
Present.
Ryan Dawson.
Here.
Keith Dennis.
Here.
Dale Quigley.
Here.
Chad Fisher.
Here.
Call to order time is 6:01.
Consent agenda items, all matters listed under consent are considered by the Town of Union City Board of Trustees to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Any Board of Trustees member may, however, remove an item from the consent agenda by request. Do I have a motion on consent agenda items A through E?
I make a motion we approve items A through E.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Number 6, correspondence, A and B. Following correspondence is provided to the Board of Trustees for their review and information. Regular monthly bills presented by Union City Treasurer Michelle Burns. Dispatch is $475, fire department's $5,629.75. General fund is $161,920.17. Municipal authority is $20,000. Well, that number doesn't make any sense.
Boy,
$203,816.72. Municipal deposit funds, $150. Police department, $11,119.26. Street and alley 0. Traffic bond refund is $7,077.48. No correspondence from citizens. Number 7, financial reports. Regular monthly financial report for all funds are provided to the Board of Trustees for review and information by Union City Treasurer Michelle Burns. At the close of business, February 29, 2024, bank balances are as follows. Forfeit is $8,343.20. Asset forfeiture is $77,848.64. Capital improvement, Bank First is $313,952.58. Capital improvement First National is $313,927.20. General funds, $304,693.91. Street grants empty. Street and alleys, $12,372.20. Traffic bond refund, $10,635.23. Municipal authority, $589,404.86. Municipal deposit funds, $52,242.98. Dispatch is at $44,389.49. Fire department's at $624,819.39, and police department's at $199,273.32. Number 8, code enforcement.
There's also a page in there that's got the update from OU, just as an FYI, we should get with Bob, the next 2 days and figure out, come up with some dates where we can get together and meet with him. move this project forward. They're excited. I like the fact that they're drawing in, you know,
Mhm.
ODB,
Yeah,
excited.
would all of y'all be interested in going to that meeting, or do you want us to handle that? What meeting?
With OU in regards to updating our capital, our comprehensive plan.
Well, I thought we already did that.
Look out.
That's not a one and done.
It's definitely not a one and done.
No, I thought we already rented the meeting and had a roundabout.
We
Drive around.
we did, but now they're gonna bring back what they've been working on, and
I
what
do
they're
want
gonna
this in the
propose.
meeting.
I think it would
Yeah.
it'd be beneficial, y'all wanna do this in the daytime, you wanna make it, I don't know if we can get them to do an evening meeting,
I'm good with daytime. I would prefer Wednesdays or Thursdays preferably,
During the day,
but whatever works for the
I'll
board.
come up with a few dates in there. Tracy, did you do that conference, right? Daytime? Yes.
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you?
one guy.
Cause you were here at that time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're not, may not be up to speed, or are you up to speed on what we're talking about as a whole?
Well, no.
Just 2-minute crash course. We
Yeah.
are working with some students at the University of Oklahoma to update a comprehensive plan. I don't know if you can lean around and kind of see that, that map right there that's kind of highlighted. That was done in what year?
2004.
2004 is the last time we had a comprehensive plan, so it's been 20 years ago. And basically, the comprehensive plan is, it's basically a kind of a guide and direction that we as a community see each individual land plot as we move forward, whether it should be commercial, residential, agricultural, that sort of thing. And it's a huge undertaking that, and we, you know, where to even start has always been a struggle. So the University of Oklahoma and some of their students there have taken that project on for us as a semester project. And they're helping with that. And then they'll basically present that to us. And then the idea is, we'll be able, then the idea is after that, being able to go towards hiring a firm to help us kind of really solidify the idea and the concept, but that's kind of what we're looking at.
Alright, so put together some dates, let us all know, we'll see how many of us we can get in one building.
Okay. Sounds good.
Any more questions on code enforcement?
And I like the fire department last time, they worked well.
That would be good.
Um,
We need there when we do that.
there was a,
Yeah, I'll let you know, I'll let you know, plenty.
With or without lunch?
Depends on how long it lasts.
I don't know, depends what he's buying, right? Last time Flawless was there, I'm just saying.
We got some ramen left over.
there was, a couple people that reached out to me talking about the house directly across from the Catholic Church. That bus and that car that's parked out there and just some of that. Are those tags on those vehicles up to date, or have you checked any of that stuff lately?
I
Do you know?
have, they've kind of abandoned the place.
Yeah, that's what.
Their letters have come back to me. We're having trouble even giving them citations.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to do an abatement on it if we can't do it that way.
Huh. So completely abandoned. Huh.
That's, you know, the water's off everything.
Okay. And how long's all that been on? Like, how long has it been abandoned?
He was paying it up every time we turned it off. It's off still. Oh, it's back on. The day back on. Yeah, it's back on.
But they've been paying it when we turned it off.
We turn it off, they
Yeah.
turn it back on, but I can knock on the door at any time they even nobody answers the door. That stuff hasn't moved in months. And I know it hurts the property values of the ones trying to sell to the north.
Yeah.
Just so, overvalue,
Did it go and sell?
well, that's right.
And that's not even who reached out to me, it's just members of the church who have some stares at every time they come from church, but, my main, so if the tags aren't up to date and everything's all, can we tow those out of there or what?
It's
You
private
can't, cause they're on private property?
Private property. If they were sitting out in the road or
I
something.
mean, a van or a bus sitting in a private driveway isn't technically a hazard, so there's no abatement there.
Yeah.
Same thing with the car, even though it looks horrible.
Yeah. But we have rules on tagging up to date too.
Cannot see that tag's out of date on that car. The way it's set, unless you can walk out on private property.
Huh? So if I give you the tag number, then you can do it?
I know it's out of date.
Yeah. So I'm confused.
But legally, I can't see it from the road.
I don't understand this
I do not.
conversation.
I can't go up
It
on
is-
people, I cannot trespass.
Tom, what's the legalities on that? Cause it's stupid. The car's sitting right there.
Yeah, I cannot trespass.
Well, but if the property owner next to you lets you onto their property, you can ask that property owner. if you can,
What about,
if you can have access to it, or if the people that live next door to there, if they send you the pictures of the tag numbers.
People have an expectation of privacy, you can't
Yeah.
just invade their personal
Yes.
space.
I'm asking what's,
Yeah.
like, what's
And I go
legal,
to
what's
him,
not.
I go to him when I have
Yeah.
questions on that.
is
When we go in what I
the
can.
property a rental or is it owned?
They own it. They own it.
Well, next to that idea.
A bank will probably wind up with it and then
I
I'll
mean,
be
it
able to.
feels like
And
excuses
then I'll be,
to
and
me.
then I'll be able to get it cleaned up. Yeah.
I feel like there's excuses of us not wanting to
No, not that we
enforce
don't,
it.
we've tried, the letters come back to us, with the citation, everything. Post notices on the door, there's no phone numbers that work, nothing.
So you can only
There's only
give a
so much I
citation
can do.
if someone signs for it. Is that what you're saying?
If they've been returned to us.
I mean, yeah, you can't, if there's no personal service, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, I mean, like, that'd be like if you cop pulled up on your car and went to issue you a ticket and you're not in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't,
There are limits to what I can and can't do legally.
Well, of course, we don't wanna work outside those lines, I'm
As
just
much as
asking.
I think it, look forward,
Yeah.
and I go to Adam every time that there's a question,
Mhm.
so we're trying.
okay.
I get it, I don't like it either,
Yeah.
What,
but I'm hopeful.
what will be the next step? I mean, you talked about an abatement process, what does that look like? for
We
this?
quit doing the abatement, but it's still in the code book. We could go back to that, but then again, that requires David and crew to have the time and the ability to go clean it up and,
Oh, go mow it?
yeah.
Go mow it.
Well, and then what we do is we just do a bill and Michelle will take it to the courthouse and file it as a lien against the property. Once we start the abatement process, which I'm gonna have to send out notification and wait for it to come back to me.
Mhm.
And then,
Then you have to publish it in the paper.
we have to publish the paper.
It's a long process.
Yeah, it's probably a 30-day process there. If that's what you want me to do, I'll start that,
Well, I mean, if they're not responding,
and they're not.
yeah.
Because my hope was that a bank would wind up with it or something, mortgage company.
So, have they abandoned it, or do they still live there?
I don't think so. I don't see anybody there.
I can tell you this, I put a notice on the door Friday, and they went there today.
Somebody's coming at some point,
That's all I know.
They come and go.
do they?
They
I
live-
walk
they live
them in
right
the evenings and sometimes I'll drive around at different times, see if I can catch somebody at different places that I can't catch during the day.
If that blue pickup's there,
So
they're.
I can do my due diligence to try to catch
So
somebody.
the blue pickup, if the blue pickup's there, they're there.
Blue,
It was there today, and I think on the door for
Yeah.
5 minutes, and then went
no
to.
answer.
Huh.
Interesting.
They know.
Water key, man.
What's Tom's take on that? I mean,
How long have they been, has it been like that? I mean,
If the grass has died, it was a little bit taller. He'd get out there and he'd mow a little bit, and his mower would break down, and one of the old mowers is still sitting out in the yard where it died. There's a slope up in the driveway, there's an old car that's backed up on the south side of the house, where you can't see the tag. He would do it in bits and pieces last year, when I would get on to him. And then they just quit responding. At one point, I actually caught him over there, and I had about an hour-long conversation with the man, telling him what he needed to do to get it cleaned up, and that.
But conversations don't fix things, citations fix
Well,
things.
And then we started writing the citations.
Yeah, and
There's
that's
a
when they-
process.
So how many
I can't just.
but how many citations have we written in?
Huh?
How many citations have we written in?
I'm not sure. That he's not took anything.
the abatement process is probably the best thing to do, just start that.
But we had
you know.
completely quit the abatement, and you guys had said to go to writing tickets instead.
Yeah.
So that's why we went that route.
Yeah.
But I think this is probably the only way to get it cleaned up now.
yeah, well, let's start that process and then
I'll start it tomorrow.
continue forward. All right, 8A, subdivision meetings. Subdivision meeting minutes. Consideration possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or acceptance of the approving Union City subdivision meeting minutes from March 6, 2024.
You guys had those from that meeting last week. There was a lot of citizens there, and we had a really good group, subdivision committee. Lots and lots of discussion. Tracy with Blue Ribbon Homes is here tonight as well. To visit with you guys a little bit more, if you guys have any more questions.
We sent that to the planning committee, didn't we?
No, he sent it to subdivision.
It went to
and that's back to
subdivision,
us.
and then it came back here tonight. From here tonight, it will go to the planning commission with a new preliminary plat and some very specific guidelines. But before they spend any more money or dig any further, we have to.
Has that plat already been developed?
Yes, sir.
Have you started on the new one yet? Waiting on this.
So it looks like the number downsized to around 120.
That's my guesstimate, just looking at the existing plat, many of the parcels don't make much sense at all. So I'm guessing when we go in and fine tune and streamline things, I think give or take 120.
So really all the thing we did tonight is approve for it to go to planning commission.
Yeah.
They need some answers on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with this about what you said. Can you elaborate on that?
Alright, so kinda what we've come up with is the skirt, is that what we said? Trunk.
Yeah, I was needing someone to explain that to me, because I don't have a clue what that is.
So basically, it would be a paved surface going into the neighborhood, and then from there, it'll split out to gravel. And that'll keep the gravel from coming into the highway.
All contained inside.
So there's X number of feet on the entrance, on the entrances only. Okay.
Yeah. Do you know approximately what you think the footage will be from the road to the first road in the neighborhood?
Off the top, I don't, but I mean, just to ultimately solve the problem, I feel like we need to go in a good couple hundred feet just to, you know, not even be close.
Yeah. So basically, give those cars time to kick the rocks out of their tires before they make it to the highway.
And then the developer's gonna be responsible for that, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So a few meetings ago, did we talk about, is there an ordinance that says there has to, it can't be gravel? And we're making a decision?
No.
No, that on mobile home parks, there was verbiage in there, but not for subdivisions for houses.
Private road.
It says may require, it
Yeah.
doesn't say it has.
Yeah, so we're really not even lending a variance or anything, it's simply not in the
They're not
book.
in it.
Okay, yeah.
They'll all be on 3/4 acre tracts, correct?
For running water, so with water, you could go down to a half acre. Again, I don't think we'll exceed the 120, and ideally, I'm wanting 3/4 acre lots, but I feel like that's.
Kind of the gist of it all is to try to avoid it becoming properties that people would come in, purchase and rent out.
I just thought if it was an ordinance and we changed it, then we're opening up,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
from this day forward, you'd have to do it for everybody.
Yeah. And so it is a open ordinance, it's either yay or nay, depending on the situation. The way that this will be set up is basically, we're just trying to figure out a way to contain it all to the neighborhood and it not become a public nuisance of any kind.
Anybody have any other questions or concerns? Anybody from the community?
We're still concerned about dust, and that's a lot of houses. I mean, I understand the rock concern, but, I mean, that's like the town, everything west of the tracks, like being in gravel, like you imagine 8 o'clock in the morning when everybody goes
It
to
is
work.
twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, y'all know, you know what it's like, you
Yeah.
know.
But, you know, my thought process on it is, number one, it's a neighborhood. It's not, the gravel road is right there on Banner Road. People aren't gonna be going down at 45 miles an hour.
Yes, they will.
Are you going to that neighborhood?
I live on Manor Road, and I have watched them, and they have ended up upside down in my pasture
Yeah, but that,
on that road. So, yes, they will.
But
They're
that-
dropping 45 miles an hour down the road.
well, no, they'll be going 45 on Banner, but.
No, they will be going 45 in this neighborhood. I have watched these people for 30 years. These people have they don't have any understanding of, the dust
thing is immaterial to them, but they don't think that anybody's watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly believe that that's what y'all are gonna face, is that they're gonna be driving too fast in this neighborhood, on gravel roads, and dust is a big thing, but I have watched them. I mean, to this day, one of our police officers pulled somebody over just the other morning, I got up to all the lights, because they just don't have any.
They'd come so fast down Banner Road that when they hit the ditch and flipped in the pasture, they didn't even touch the bottom 3 wires of barbed wire. They only hit the top 2. And then it was like 140 feet before the car even hit the ground for the first contact, before it rolled into a rim on its top.
But isn't that coming from a paved surface?
That was coming from a paved surface onto the gravel.
Yeah.
But even on the gravel, it's, to see a 70-mile-an-hour car, that's not like a out of the ordinary thing. Like, that's something that happens pretty regular.
We have lots, and that's the norm out there. Because they really don't think that they are seen out there.
Yeah.
They get on the other side of 89th Street and they're not seen. It's gonna be the same going into this neighborhood, that they feel like that the police officers are gonna be out on the highway, they're gonna be out on the, on the mile sections, and there's not gonna be the patrol to keep them in line in those neighborhoods. And,
Tracy, how are your roads gonna be built? Will they be straight lines, or is it something somebody could run 70 miles an hour on?
They're pretty curvy.
Well, that's,
That plat, I know it's not the right one, but.
somebody 70 in a neighborhood, they're gonna be
Can you-
talking on it.
I don't know that they're gonna be 70, but I think 45 is
You know,
good.
it's
Look at my report, how many residential patrols we do every month.
They're private roads, but they're still gonna be under the jurisdiction.
Patrol
of
our
police
area
and
quite a
fire.
bit.
Residential patrols was 241 patrols last month.
When are they not allowed to patrol? Like
It's gated.
HOA or something like that? Like,
We can't
If
do
it's a
that.
private road but public access,
didn't it take forever for the Gregory Estates, or not Gregory Estates, what do they call that?
Canadian Creek,
Yeah. Proper way?
no, they've got signs up that says patrol.
Well, I know, but it used to not be that way. didn't it?
Right, they did an agreement with the police to patrol those roads.
Years ago.
What's your take on it, Tracy?
I feel like if, our neighborhoods many times attract families, and I think it'll be self-patrol if somebody's going 40 miles an hour. I think there's gonna be a mama or a daddy out there.
And for the record, the north of my house is a gravel road, and then mine turns to pavement. And you can ask that gentleman right there how many times I've complained. I've had people slide around the corner of mine and drive through city streets, and it's a 25-mile-an-hour zone that's posted. At the end of the day.
And there's no reason for anyone to be back there.
Yeah, and there's not even a house back there. Sometimes I stay home and work from home, 3 or 4 days a week, and I'm amazed, sometimes I'll have 18 to 22 cars come by in the morning, and I'm like, what are these people doing? Like, there's nothing even on this street. Huh? What?
Checking your tags on your car to see if they're out.
Yeah, but but some of them will come by and they literally fishtail that corner. It's almost impossible. At the end of the day, there's always gonna be that dumb guy that's, driving like that. Even in a 25-mile-an-hour zone with school zone areas and everything else, they still do it. It's.
I'm not even so worried about the speed. Speed really doesn't bother me. It's just the dust.
Yeah.
And, dust is a, an effect of the speed.
Yeah.
And air quality.
And that's kind of been the challenge here. I think with having the $250,000 homes and up, I personally, I still think the road in the long term will have some issues. I think there will be some complications there. I'm not going without saying that it doesn't concern me. Mainly, I'm more worried about the potholes and how often the HOA works those roads and some of those things. I do see that potentially being an issue down the road. If we were building $100,000 or $150,000 homes in there, I would guarantee that was gonna be an issue. Plus, I would guarantee you that the riprap is gonna be a lot higher statistically. But in the 250,000 and up, I feel like, similar to what Tracy said, it's gonna be more families. And I know if I lived in that neighborhood, I'm gonna be calling these gentlemen every single time I see a car driving that way or acting that way, because I don't want my kid ran over, But I've dealt with it on my street for years, but I there's no perfect solution
What
out
will
there
the
than
speed
additional
limit be
patrols.
through your neighborhood?
I would assume we would have, 20 to 25 mile an hour speed limits.
And is that set by, we don't do, I mean, once those roads are, the HOA sets it,
Will it be
okay.
y'all or the HOA that sets the speed?
Well, they'll control the HOA.
Yeah, we, as a developer, kind of declarant, we could determine.
Yeah.
Can we set them to 20?
And once they set it, then you guys can be the ones that enforce it?
Yeah, we enforce it.
Yeah, that's it,
I think it's very reasonable, and I think the slower speeds will, definitely help with any dust.
So what we need is an officer in the neighborhood.
I got you.
All right, do I have a motion to send it to the planning commission?
With the approval.
Thing to remember is,
or with the approval.
You know,
of Rocky
like
Mountain.
15 to 20 is the best homes a year, so
Yeah.
it ain't like there's gonna be 800 people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 10-year project, probably. Yeah, just say.
Anybody have any
Well,
questions?
I move that we send the Hiawassee 80 development project to the planning board.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved.
So, do we know when that planning commission meeting will be yet? Okay.
We won't have a planning commission meeting until they rework their preliminary plat. We've also got to be working on the rezoning, if you guys feel comfortable now and move forward with that. We can do that in conjunction, or, we can wait till everything's completely approved and then redone. I recommend, doing it in conjunction, but that's up to you.
I agree.
We need to just make sure that's done. But as soon as he gets back with me with some stuff, I'll start forwarding it to you guys, so if you have any questions, just bring me that we need it.
8C, interlocal agreement. Consideration and possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or acceptance of an interlocal agreement between the County of Union City, Canadian County District 2, and Rancho Estate homeowners. Did he show, he ain't here, is he?
Nope.
No, they submitted that
Have you heard
letter.
anything from them?
Yeah, I talked to Chad on the 4th of March, and then I talked to Dave Anderson on the 5th. We don't need another interlocal agreement, according to Dave. He said, we've already got one with you guys.
All he needs is permission, basically?
He needs, from Gina, he said Gina was gonna check with the engineer on a plan. Is that new to you?
No, that's for the main, that's for our big roads.
No,
No?
this is for this. He said they'll get a reimbursement grant. He'll front the cost. He said Gina needs to check with the engineer.
That sounds like a division project.
Yeah, that sounds like the main,
That's not.
that sounds like the, because they were gonna do, we were gonna use that grant money for the first mile here headed, west, and then,
That's all
and then a
I'm
mile
talking
north.
about is the road grant. the
So-
road grant.
They were going
Because
to
we weren't-
do a tax.
Yeah, so they're doing a,
We're asking them.
Yeah,
Ad
Well, this,
Those are
that,
ones
Ad
that have
valorem,
one
yeah.
tax.
So Tracy, this is,
is, yeah.
kind of similar to what we're talking about here. We have a neighborhood that has a gravel road, and there's no upkeep, no maintenance, and it's been
They
a
have
problem.
asphalt
They
road.
It's
had-
It was an
they had
asphalt, okay, I'm sorry,
asphalt.
it was an asphalt road, but it's in bad shape, and so we're looking at that neighborhood being able to work with the county to allow the county to maintenance their road for them, and then they pay for it as a group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna have it.
under your understanding, is he wanting to use our grant to pay for that?
It was the first time we've ever
He's gonna.
known that
he's
this could be a
gonna
potential
have
option for this type of issue, if it becomes an issue down the road.
This land.
But he's using the interlocal that we already have
We
established.
already have that
Okay.
interlocal agreement. We don't need another interlocal agreement.
So our engineer needs to go out there and tell him what kind of road to build?
Says he would prepare an estimate, so he said, I need to have somebody
Our
tell me.
engineer don't do that, does he?
Around it.
Huh?
He doesn't talk to
That's what
me
they
about
got.
that.
We're not gonna fund it.
That's what he told me.
The town's not gonna fund it.
I know the town's not gonna fund it. He said they're gonna front it, the town would front it. I mean, he would front it, it would be paid,
Or by the tax.
But who's gonna pay our engineer?
Yeah.
But our engineer, does he even do
Yeah.
roads? Huh? He does?
He's doing this one.
Scott does? Oh,
He's doing
okay, okay.
one for
I
the
didn't even
ARPA
realize.
money.
he called it a reimbursement grant, and he said he will front the cost.
I think he's
We
doing it.
apply,
Different things, I think.
well, maybe he's mixed up.
That's what they're saying.
I think
Yeah.
it's two different
And
things.
that's what he talked to me about on the 2 miles of road that we're doing.
I know, I just read that in my.
My understanding with this at Rancho Pacific, that all he needed was an okay from the town of Union City, since those roads were technically in our city limits. They are private, but they can do this agreement
That's right,
and
yeah.
add it to their taxes.
Yeah,
But they didn't feel comfortable doing it without the board's okay. That's the way it was approached
And we
to me
wouldn't be out
before.
any money at all.
no.
That's the way it was explained to me, unless there's something different that we're not aware of.
No, and that's what he told me, it was not gonna cost the town anything.
I'm surprised no one's here.
Can we not just table it? That's my recommendation, maybe we just table it
Until somebody's here
and get
to
some more
explain it.
clarification and
I'll
let,
call Dave again and talk to him, but that's what he called it a reimbursement grant.
yeah, I feel like it's two separate things and they got confused.
Let's table 8C.
Okay.
8D, property located at 2915 State Highway 152. Consideration possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or acceptance of the appraisal of receiving property located at 2915 State Highway 152. And he's not here.
Well, he's the next one. I have, and he's the next item, but the thing about this one, the reason it's back on there, you guys have gotten some appraisals from 3 different realtors. Are you gonna put it up for sale, you gonna put it up for auction, you gonna, how you
No,
gonna go about it?
auction, I mean, this is my opinion, auction's the wrong route. We put it up for sale and
You're
people
gonna
have to bring us,
register, yeah.
people have to bring us
The plan.
their plans, and we don't sell a single square foot of it until we have a plan in place as to what that individual wants to do. But I'm 100% in agreement that there does need to be a realtor sign in front of it and get the conversations and get people moving, but the people that call have to understand through the realtor and or the front office that,
No, so we didn't know, I didn't
Yeah,
know, I didn't know what to tell people.
It would be my suggestion that we go ahead and put it out there for sale at the, Gat's price. And,
You want her to list it?
but we would need to put that as an agenda item, and it would need to be circled back to, correct?
Yeah, you need to have.
So we would either need to hold a special meeting or come back, but we would need to see all 3 of those bids, again, and then that'd be an agenda item, and then we make a.
Can you get bids on it when you haven't
No,
offered
you're
it for
not-
sale?
you're
You're not selling it for that price, that's just a general starting point of the conversation. If someone wants that frontage, but their business model only requires a fourth of that frontage, then we only sell them a fourth of the frontage. We're not gonna imaginary, or at least my vote's not gonna allow to sell the other 3/4 unless they have a business model for the whole piece.
So I'm supposed to tell whomever
Yes,
to make an offer on whatever portion and bring
Yes.
you a business?
yes,
plan. Okay.
yeah.
Plan.
And it needs to be a business plan, it'll even be as far as like, we'll need to see drawings and understanding how much parking they're gonna require, all that type of stuff.
So is the agenda item to select a realtor?
Yes.
Yes.
I think a couple of those gentlemen that are looking at it, they should understand by now that, I think we had at a meeting that we need to see a plan
Yeah.
before we sell it.
But they thought there'd be a for sale sign on the front of it first before they were to get to that step.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and that's why I do agree that there needs to be a sign out there.
let's find a realtor.
But I just don't agree.
Let's find a realtor.
Correct. And then we can get a sign on it.
No action. 80, no action. Number 9, Department of Union City Police.
Lots going on. I'll be out of pocket the rest of the week teaching a course up at the VOTEC.
This is kind of for Adam too, just real quick. That, 'cause we did want y'all's two's input on how much space we thought we would need for the park area versus that frontal half. And I know we'd already done a survey to divide that into 3 sections, but, and then, I mean, as far as, the location of a new city hall, do we need to be shopping for another piece of land, or does that water tower area, or what?
There's another idea brewing.
Is there? Okay.
It's a good one.
But if we just wanted to start building a new building, like, that would be, we've already had it drawn out there that we're trying to,
Okay.
up there, it's worked out,
Yeah.
Bobby,
Mhm.
it would be good.
But, anyway, so, we just need to figure out that
Yeah.
portion of it.
Alright, please.
Upcoming events, the Union City High School SPICO has offered to basically run and sponsor our 5K event like we did last year, it'll be on April 20th. All proceeds shop the top. Radio service agreement with Oklahoma City was approved, I'm just waiting on procurement to get with me so we can get scheduled for all the programming and installations and things like that, so that should be pretty quick.
Any questions on that?
No, on the other news, on the police report, I did see Brandon Owens' daughter make the sale at Canadian County.
Yeah, Lamb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
9A, modification to personnel policy. Consideration possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, and acceptance of the modification of the Town of Union City personnel policy for military leave for salary exempt employees.
Provided you a letter with a request. Basically, our personnel policy is completely tailored to hourly employees, and, for one, and for two, I'm gonna have some duties coming up where I'll be away, but I'll still be available, and, I just proposed a modification, basically after all other leave is used, to be awarded a salary still, partial salary, while I'm gone.
I read this, and is that just because of your particular situation, or are there others?
Yeah, just my
Just you.
situation, yes, sir.
So.
I'm the only exempt employee that's
Okay, so
But you-
if some future chief that's not in the reserves of the National Guard, this wouldn't matter.
Correct.
That's what you're saying. So it's just your situation.
we got not.
But it would be there if in the future there's another salaried employee that's,
Not just police, right?
yeah, anybody, you know.
Yeah, my position.
I'll donate you my leave.
I think we have a whole board willing to do that.
So right now, you just get 21 days a year of military leave time? I thought, it's always been my understanding that all
So, state
national.
statute is it's supposed to be 30 days. Leave that as you may. The reason that it's at 168 hours is because of interpretation.
So, because
Interpretation is 30 days in a month, and officers work 168 hours in a month. So that's why it's 168 hours. But on the salary side, 168 hours is 21 days
So this is a per month rule or per year rule?
per year.
But in Project Limelight, when we had guys that were in military leave, like, we always paid those guys at all times, like, I never
Well,
understood.
and there's.
Is that just something that, like, companies I work for, just, we've
No, there's a
always
lot
done?
that do that. There's a lot that'll do a pay match.
But that's not state statute, like,
No.
state statute, so like as an employer,
State-
if someone left for overseas for 8 months, 9 months, then they're only
The
required.
USERRA only requires that you give them their job back. That's it.
Oh, but you don't have to continue to pay them.
No, but there's a lot of employers that do like a salary match, so if there's a difference between the like if I leave, which there won't be, but if I leave and my salary is X amount of dollars here and it's $40 a check less, then, you know, the military check is less, then the city would cover the difference, but the whole point is I'm still going to be doing city duties while I'm gone for 90 days. So.
To be cheap. What's that?
Still be cheaper.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I don't
here's
agree
my,
with us not paying.
yeah, I don't either. What me personally, I kinda hoped was that you would have put something in there for board members also. Well, no, I mean, I'm talking about for if we get a board member that's in the military,
Oh, yeah.
you know, because as it is now,
I don't know how
then
to do that, cause board members aren't compensated.
Oh, yeah.
Well played.
Hey, Congress does it, but it's just a raise.
I could never do this job unless it was volunteer.
Yeah.
The second you start paying me, I'd quit. I can just imagine the fun conversations we'd get if we were getting paid for this job. I've always liked the conversation of, I'm not paid, if you want it, it's yours.
Alright, so,
Tom, you've read this over?
Yeah, yes.
so let's say this works for Taylor, and then later on down the road, they get another chief. There's not anything in there that says that guy's getting paid what Taylor's getting paid, right?
No, but the same policy, if you pass this policy, unless you make not a change of policy, but basically a side deal, if you wanna call it that, that's not the technical term for it.
Yeah.
You know.
Alright, let's go ahead and pass the
I was
policy.
saying, put in policy that, hey, once leave's extended, then they're entitled to equivalent of 1 hour per working day, you know,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's the whole purpose.
So really, you're not even asking for full
So it's
salary
good.
then?
No, that's it.
I make a motion that we accept this, policy modification. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Approved.
And I do have another, new business, that we can talk about new business, or we can talk about it now if you wish. It's, on the vehicles, did you get that later?
I did. It's to the back, because it was.
Yeah, it's under new
It has
business.
an NB at the top right-hand corner for new business.
Chief Groves close from Mustang called me this morning, so y'all remember back at the beginning of the budget year, when we were presenting budgets, I had mentioned, budgeting to purchase 2 vehicles from Mustang PD, and they've taken, so long because of GM strikes and everything like that. Well, they'll be available within the next couple of weeks. So, I know it's already budgeted, essentially I'm asking your permission if we can go ahead and move forward with that, but I'm also asking if we can dip into capital improvements towards stuff. There's 2 2019 Tahoes, less than 60,000, fully upfitted for 35,000.
What did we just pay for the last new one we got?
114,000 for 2.
57.
And you have 2 that you're gonna cycle out?
I'm gonna have at least one that is going bye-bye. I'm tired of spending maintenance on it.
How many miles is on it?
140-ish plus
Do you remember how much we got for the last one when we sold it?
20.
We got how much?
No, that one had a bad motor. We got 9 out of it. This one is still got good bones to it. It just needs some work that I get rid of. I'd sell it to an agency upfitted for, probably 15, 14, 15.
What amount are you planning on paying out of your budget versus the capital improvement?
I was hoping for a 50-50 split, so 35. I can go more if need be, but
If you're able to sell that for 14 to 15K, would you be okay with that going back into capital improvement?
absolutely. I understand your thoughts, circle back on the new business item, but keep you thinking while the meeting's going.
Yeah, let's.
I would be, huh?
Let's circle back on it when we get to new business.
Okay.
Alright, Department of Union City Fire.
Is that all it says?
Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Says verbal correspondence.
Okay, I think you should have.
No, just hold on.
Michelle, did you know that the next month is a written correspondence?
No, I went right there, sorry.
Post-it note, we good.
Yeah. As far as fire, everything's great, no problems, busy, mostly medical, as usual, nothing really-
We do good training.
And we just got a call.
Okay, bye.
Adios.
Had one truck that pump messed up on, but it's all fixed, back in service, so everything's going well, fire.
Number 11, emergency management.
Thought everything was going good. Apparently, one of the sirens decided to go off on its own, what was that, Friday? Whatever they,
Thank you for using the app.
Thursday.
whatever day it was. It was during when it was raining and stormy and got a bad deal. But, and I have no idea, it had to be moisture.
I thought maybe we were attached to Panic Pain.
Now, actually, we can't just set one off. If we did, it'd all be one off, so it's nothing we did. We can turn east, all these on at once, or we can turn all the ones that don't like Banner, that area on, but we can't just turn one. So, I'm assuming moisture or something got into it, and we ended up having to go turn the power off to it, and it's on the list to be looked at, so. But we got plenty of people, here's what's funny, we got 5 in this town around us. I get complaints all the time, but they can't hear them loud enough. One goes off and the whole county never went around to turn it on.
My wife called me, questioned it, and I said, I don't know, check the weather.
Everybody like, you testing? I was like, well, we never test in this situation, but no.
I tried to get it pushed out on the app as soon as I found out about it.
I was working at the school, and my wife called me because somebody came to her asking fire sirens going, or the tornado sirens going on. I said, I'm in the same place as you.
Yeah, she texted me.
Speaking, you said on the app, you're talking about Facebook or social media?
The actual app.
Our actual app.
Oh,
Does
David
David have access to that?
Hmm?
Does David have access to that?
We have that, it's done?
David's usually so busy fixing things, he defers to me.
I go, I don't get it. But I can do it.
I didn't know that was finished.
Yeah, it's live.
You can download it.
Next up needs to be our website.
But also, as quick as I can, put out a post about it.
And have y'all done social media work? I don't have social media, so.
Yeah,
y'all-
so, like, whenever I do a post on that, on the app, that'll send out a push notification, it'll also post to police and fire in town.
And
I can
whether-
check whichever Facebook account I want it to post to.
But does it advertise itself on social media?
No, we probably need to be better about pushing it more often.
Yeehaw. All right. Number 12.
Oh, we could, put that on the water bill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is a call.
Since we have that fancy printer, let's put one of them in the mail with the water bill.
It's daggone Facebook.
Department of Union City Water Sheriff.
You need this, you just.
You're good.
One thing underneath it's there, but to elaborate on it, everything's going well. The last test we done was way below, below standard, so we're good there. Actually do another test next month, so, sewer wise, everything's going good.
I forgot to ask you again, did y'all figure out that sensor issue on those lights at the park? Did they just go back to working?
You know what, I gotta be honest, I forgot.
I haven't even looked.
I ain't even paid attention to the dark.
No.
I'll put it on my list to check it out at dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
they're,
I mean, that day I was there, it was the middle of the day, and they were,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't, I mean, I've been there 2 or 4 times, I was there a lot today, and I didn't think so.
No.
Cause we cut down 2 dead trees on that spot beside it, and
Yeah.
I was up there.
you probably would have noticed it then.
Alright, 12A, my phone number, DEQ case number 24-036 payment. Alright, so, as everybody knows, we've been having all these crazy numbers. David spoke with someone up there and spoke with, Easton, right, Easton Water? And everybody's getting all these crazy numbers, but it was taking weeks for it to go through. For
Really
them to
much.
actually test the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spoke with the lady from DEQ for, I don't know, close to an hour. And gave her all of our information, told her, 100%. I said, I want a full investigation of why it's taking so long to test our water. And she went on to tell me, well, we've hired a lot of new people, but it wasn't us. And after a very lengthy discussion, there's just no way out of it. We gotta pay them $500.
This FYI could be 10,000 a day.
Yeah. Yeah, we went.
This is a one-time charge.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole deal is because it was 4
Four
consecutive tests, and, that were above the level, even though we don't touch the water, or do anything. Just almost know that they're mistaken, there's nothing you can do. I mean, you don't fight DEQ
We don't.
for $500 anyway.
Well, and I understand that, but then cause I don't understand all these tests, so forgive me. But once we pay this, and it's somewhat of an admission that we failed that 4 times in a row, huh?
I thought there was language in there that it was.
Basically, it says you're not saying that it was your fault,
Yeah.
is what's in the verbiage.
I think that language is in there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I just don't want the town set up for future lawsuits.
You're not saying we're guilty.
Okay, so it's not, so if someone comes and claims some claim because of that, we would still have the right to fight it.
We didn't admit,
Whatever.
we paid the fine.
Okay.
We did not.
No low contender.
Yeah, well, I just don't wanna set it up for, not without,
No, and that's.
not when we think there are issues there, but,
They're there.
okay, so we just need a motion to approve it and go on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve 12A and pay DEQ $500.
I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Number 13, Union City Animal Control.
Been plenty busy, for sure, but, going well. Got 3 down there now, but I think they got them into a rescue today, so.
Good. Number
Get Ryan's.
14, Department of Union City Streets and Alley.
What did you say? Oh, the one you called me about, I can't get this, they're hard to see. Everything's fine, we'll talk about the painting here in a minute, but, nothing to report as far as.
Okay. How many of our alleys are drivable?
Drivable?
How many do you have?
Kind of a trick question, because,
How many of them can you take a gator down?
most of them, yeah, a gator, but not like a truck, 'cause there's like water meters, there's all kinds of things in there. Telephone and, do what? Internet, but,
Some of them, even like mine has, at the end of the line, has a clean out that comes out and sticks up out of the ground with it, so.
yeah, manholes and things.
Alright. Number 14, traffic control traffic control proposal.
This is for the highway up here. We've had that thing striped 4 or 5 times by different people, and it just don't last. So I got a hold of, David, and talked to ODOT, and they suggested the people that paint the highways, the people that did, Banner Road and all, and they said all this stuff, I'm through, they're talking about basically it's supposed to last forever, and it's, you know, it's a lot more expensive, but we're paying like $4,000 though to do it twice a year.
Is there a guarantee on it?
I don't know how that guarantees they can say, but that's what they do for a living.
If they, yeah, I think that, I've seen those before, it's
It's
like
like-
a work order that's got a time period in it.
Yeah, it's almost like thick stuff too, the new, it's almost like a bump, but not really, you know, it's, instead of just paint, there's a big name for it, but,
Yeah.
it's only a couple more thousand than what we've been spending, this is supposed to last several years, he said. The reason I didn't include this, I did originally on quote, but he's gonna get ready to pay it, so I didn't want to.
Let me ask this, if we go ahead and we approve something like this, and they decide they're gonna redo this again,
The intersection,
does ODOT put it back in, or? do they have to pay
if we have something there, then they recover it, they have to redo it, from my understanding.
Okay.
That's why I didn't want, but this is county, not us and our grant, so I didn't wanna
Yeah.
worry about the school yet.
Now, where would this money come out of, capital improvement?
I know, you were saying, that word, I can't say.
ARPA.
ARPA, that word.
ARPA will
Yes,
pay for
ARPA
it?
funds can pay for that.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion that we approve 14A with the use of ARPA funds.
I'll second that.
Motion is second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 15, Department of Union City, Town Clerk Treasurer. Thought you were gonna lay down and take a nap.
Well, I thought about it, but, you know, when all the staring at me. Really nothing to report special. Let me look at it real quick. I know we've been spending on ARPA, I do have a breakdown of that. I did officially terminate Mandy Chester, the auditor we talked about in the special meeting. She did respond back acknowledging, yes, I received your termination, I accept your termination, sorry I couldn't produce because of the situation. Byrne Associates out of Lawton, they've already started on 2020, one of them's gonna be here 2 weeks, I think, Thursday.
A week from Thursday.
Oh, yeah, 2 weeks, I think, yeah, a week from Thursday. Already gonna be here, already picking up, I've already sent over everything they need as far as the financials. She said she's gonna come in and look at how our controls are, and what that means is how we handle our funds, who's touching what's happening with the process, what are we keeping track of. There's just a lot of things in there. She's gonna be visiting with Gina's office, cause that's municipal, she has me over here for general. So they're already doing it. 2020 is already rolling through for them. So they do understand the urgency to get caught up, so I'm glad to have them. We did get our printer. We did not go over budget on the printer. Actually, we got a few extra little gadgets and things because he forgot to quote them to me. So, he threw them in for us. We did keep the old printer, it's down at the fire station by dispatch, and it is still under a service agreement, so he said he'll add a year to that, and then after that year, it's like I think it was like $50 for the year or something, because of the age of the printer, yeah, it was not worth,
That includes ink or something, right?
yeah, well, and I also have extra to give you. Anyway, we did not get rid of the old, we refurbished.
Sounds like a
down
good
the-
sales pitch.
Hey,
We got a new printer out
let me
there,
get
though.
started on your cafe, and maybe we'll get one of those too.
I know where we can print flyers for a cafe.
And fold them, staple them, hole punch them, we got all kinds of things happening back there. We did turn the break room, is now actually a mail room. You know that, I don't know if you guys recall it, but we got that mail machine that you would just put a whole bunch in. It's next to the printer, and I'm telling you, we're just blowing and going now, like, it comes out, we stick it
Does
over
the
here.
drawing for the new facility have a mail room and at least a software room and all that?
ACOG, you guys know what that's all about. Gina also always puts it in her report. I got really excited the other day, was like, look at this, she's like, it's in my report every time. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't read it.
Maybe you should read the code
Maybe I
one.
should read a report, right? But, yeah, it's still in there. ARPA funds, I have the breakdown, so everybody can clearly see it. This is also for auditing purposes, because I do have to turn in my minutes for every year. So I've started really breaking it down on this page, because ARPA is a big deal. By the way, Emblem, do you remember Emblem, who we hired to deal with our ARPA? Everybody that we hired has been fired, and we have a new team.
Well, they're missing $1 trillion, so.
Are they really?
I don't know what the amount is, but
Are
it's
they
plus or minus
really?
$1 trillion.
Are
Not necessarily ARPA, but like the federal government during all the COVID stuff.
Oh, okay,
There's
no,
tons
I
of
was
money
like, you
missing.
know something about Emblem?
Yeah,
But
no, not
I wonder
Emblem, no.
why.
No.
I sent an email, every time we spend, I have to send them receipts and everything, so they can do the report in April, which is next month.
Maybe we're in the hundreds of millions, maybe it was Canada that's missing $1 trillion, but one of the two, but yeah.
I don't know, but I got a message back, you know, when you send an email and it sends an automatic message to you that says I'm on vacation or what, I'm getting on that say, this person's no longer with us. So we have a new team with that, so I'm being really, really careful with it. Banking, you guys know what that is. You've listened, we have them on paper in front of you.
We made $25.
Huh, what?
Says we made $25 profit.
You did.
Boy.
That's right, in general fund. Yeah, no. It's better than losing 25, Ryan. It really is.
Talking about sweeps.
Yeah, well, it's part of it.
Should've made more than that on interest.
The state of balance right below it.
800 to 1,000 a month.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, you are way more.
Yeah.
Still our fund.
Yeah. And then, that's all I have on that.
Okay. 15A, Further Associates, already went through that one, right?
Next page, what you guys requested was for me to try to get them to give me a breakdown of the financials. So I printed off this email, because this is all they gave me, with a really good explanation, I felt, but they told me hourly rate is $135 to $275 per hour per employee working on the audit. 2020 is paid for, that's what we already did, so this is gonna be for the next year's moving forward. They cannot give a total estimate for all the audits until they start working on it. I did do some math on my own, and they are willing to let me deliver stuff to them. So it's cheaper for me to take a work vehicle or do mileage, either way, I don't care, but it's cheaper for me to take stuff to them in Lawton than for them to sit, yes. So I got them to agree to, if you'll let me know what you need or want, I can deliver to you, so that will also help with that. So be aware, you may not see me here coming up pretty soon, because they're already starting to come our way, so I'm trying to shift it back. But they do have to come here and see how we're set up and how things are going, so.
What about using a, carrier service for that?
I would be your carrier.
We're a hunter.
No, Hunter's busy, we're hitting spring, he's gonna be on tractors and all kinds of stuff. So I can do it, while I'm gone, Gina's here, it's fine. We'll have it covered, huh?
We can make it happen.
Yeah, it's, what, it's an hour and a half, 2 hour drive, I think, from here is what I saw on my
You
mapping.
don't stop there.
Dairy Queen.
I'm gonna stop at Mears and have a burger, I won't lie, okay, I'll stop there, but I will bring you one, Ryan, I will bring you one.
Try the Prospector, it's a good burger.
Is it really?
It is.
But I was just trying to find a way to lessen, the overall cost. So, and to be honest, they have a portal. I've been using a portal. We've been just uploading stuff to each other. So really, if you think about it, they could have been saying, oh, we're gonna need this and we're gonna, come get that. No, they're being fair. We're uploading all kinds of things because of the distance.
All right, number 16.
Wait, vote on 15A.
Oh, you need a vote.
I need a vote to,
Approve
because
it.
of the pricing, yeah.
Retainer.
Well, we already did the retainer, this is for moving forward.
I make a motion that we approve 15A for the purpose of paying the auditors,
Thank you.
That
Yeah.
hourly rate.
their hourly
Hourly
rate,
rate, yeah.
not to exceed,
Huh?
to what?
Really?
$2.75 an hour.
275
Yes,
an hour.
yes.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion is second, all those in favor?
Aye.
We might just get audited all the way up to this year.
Number 16, Department of Union City Human Resources.
Nothing really to report in human resources. Nothing there.
Number 17, Department of Union City Payroll. Everybody getting paid?
Everybody's getting paid.
Did you get paid?
I did.
Okay, just making sure. Alright, number 18, Department of Union City Office Manager.
You got my report.
Alright, what is your take on what you have written down here versus what David's saying to Tom and?
The only thing that I've talked to David Anderson about regarding our engineer is this 2-mile road that we're doing. He said that to go out to bid, he needed someone to draw up the bid packet. And so I called our engineer and said, would you wanna do that? And he said, sure. And I said, well, can you talk to him and let me know? So they emailed me back and said, yes, I talked to him, I'm gonna take care of it, they'll pay me, it won't cost you anything, that way they can get the bids out, tell them to start the road project. But he has not said anything to me about the other situation.
He said he was gonna call you, so.
Which seems really odd that we would even get in the middle of.
Yeah, that we shouldn't, in my opinion, be involved in that at all, but
I
Well,
haven't talked to
he
him
just-
about that at all.
Yeah,
They're the ones
I'll call him again.
they're the ones gonna pay for it, he's the one doing the work.
Yeah.
And, you know, the roads aren't gonna cost us anything either,
Yeah.
that's all a
Yeah.
reimbursement grant on that drilling and road
Yeah.
grant, so.
Now, I can see having to have, you know,
Right.
from engineering what we
Yeah.
want,
He said,
but.
because he had drew up the original plan for us when we went out for the
Mhm.
grant, and that's why he wanted him to do it, cause he was familiar with that. So, they talked and they're working on that, but I don't know anything about, I haven't talked to him at all about that other situation.
Okay. I'll call him again.
The ARPA money for the water sewer improvements, we have, excess of $2,848.60. It would be my recommendation that we buy stuff for our pumps or whatever we gotta do to burn that money up, and have it on hand in case something happens.
DEQ still hasn't approved that work,
David?
can we start finding them?
$500.
$500 for not approving our, I mean, what it is.
That was 7,000, wasn't it?
The project
That
is
was gonna be
50,000,
big one,
I think we
yeah.
should wait
Yeah,
for
maybe we'll go on
that,
that.
make sure it doesn't
I mean,
go
just-
over that before we spend.
Well, you're trying to make improvements and you can't get nothing, but then they're gonna bill you for, you know.
He's supposed to be getting back to me on that.
Typical.
We talked the other day.
Well, I thought I talked to him on the way.
The water billing, services, companies, whatever, what are we using now?
We're using, GFC, which is Jack Brown, we've used him for a long time, and he is the one that's actually slowly pulling out. He's pulling payroll out first, and then he's gonna pull the water out. But,
I got you.
the guy with Sequoia called me today, he's one of the owners, and he apologized for not getting back, and said he's been on vacation, and he's supposed to get with me next week and actually do either over the phone video or come out and do one or the other. So
Okay.
that's moving forward a little bit. And then I've got another one I've looked at, so.
Awesome. Alright. Moving on then. I mean, what paper cuts. Number 18A, Union City Park Board, consideration or possible approval, denial, amendment, revision, or acceptance of the park board using the County Union City P.O. Box for mailing purposes. What's the take on that, Tom?
Well, that's the, I think that's fine if the board approves it. So if you wanna share a post office box.
What's that box used for right now? Oh, it's just the
For
town,
the
yeah,
municipality.
okay.
So if somebody wants to address something to the park board, they can do it at that post office box.
And that, we won't hold any
No, we won't. have any
responsibility for any of it?
We're just,
Right
Make
now,
a box for them to
right
pick
now,
up.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Make a box for them to pick it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, right now, the only thing I'm aware of, and Gina can help with that, is only thing they're getting in the PO box right now is their bank statement.
Okay.
I don't think there's,
And I've been the treasurer for the park board since it was created, and that's, Jessica was the mayor at the time, Jessica Dempsey, and she was the one that said, let's just send it here, you know? I don't know, if it's ever somebody else, they may want to switch it to go to that person.
Is there a reason that it doesn't have its own P.O. box?
I'm just saying, Jessica started it, and I was the treasurer at that, and we just, and it doesn't matter, we can switch it.
$20 a year. It's more than that now.
Oh, is it?
Like 60 or 80, isn't it?
A year?
60 or 80.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know,
I got rid of
problem
mine.
is with it coming to the same address.
Well, I just wanna make sure that we're not gonna be tied up them using a federal mailing address to come to
Well,
somebody,
what-
we have a
one of
federal
the-
ID number.
One of the things that I've been told through the auditing service, that because it goes to our box, it will be audited as something we receive here.
Is the park board
We can't,
501c officially?
Yeah,
What's the registered address for the park board?
Union City.
Probably this.
they were using this name, which then, in auditing purposes, and I'm not getting any of the bank statements that the treasurer is, so if they wanna audit that, because we were using, well, they're gonna have to anyway, because up till now, they've been coming here. This was their address, that was their P.O. box, and so now it's a part of, unless we do a divisional. So up until now, we're gonna be audited on their banking.
Oh, I don't
because it
think
was
you
coming
will.
here.
I don't think you will. It's a separate entity, totally separate entity, formed in a totally separate place, so it's not Union City.
But on the paperwork with Fur and Associates, it says that you have to disclose everything that you were receiving.
I understand
So
that.
that's where they're telling me if you were receiving it, and it was just a blank conversation, it wasn't
Yeah.
about, it wasn't in detail. She's like, if you're receiving it at your municipality, it'll be audited. And I'm like, okay, so,
I don't think so.
I don't know, I don't know.
Well, let her say that. I don't think
I
that
mean,
happened.
And she, and again,
That
they
would
haven't
be
been
like
here
the-
yet, they don't know.
That would be like I own a business and my paperwork comes to my house. Well,
Yeah.
they're gonna audit my personal finances just because my business address is the same, they can't do that. I mean, that's not even,
Yeah, but that's the difference between personal and business though, this is business and business.
And she can say that, but it's
It's
a
two different
practical
entities. So if
matter,
they
that's a
try, let me know.
totally separate entity.
Is the park board a 501(c)(3)?
C3,
So,
yes.
It's their own,
yeah.
we have
It is.
5,
So, if they try, I'll let you know, and we'll go, you know,
Yeah,
and we
that's
can go
fine.
from there, okay?
I'll deal with it.
Okay.
They can have it on my cell app, but I ain't gonna do that.
not a big deal. We just kind of, I said, you know, in my mind, we're we're with it, we work on town, we work together.
the town owns the stupid things.
What?
The town owns the properties.
Owns the
Yeah.
property,
Yeah.
but the contract doesn't state that we have any association with it whatsoever, other than it requires 2 board members, and that's it. Other than that,
I'm one of those.
even our insurance does not cover if something happens. Like at the Easter egg hunt, we don't cover anybody that gets injured.
Well, we don't, the park has its own, anyway. Our insurance don't cover the park, it's, what's it called, it's.
No
on your own
trespassing.
deal. Yeah.
Well, you can put a sign, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, Tom can help with this. You can put a sign up that says you hunt at your own risk, or you play at your own risk, and then if something happens, then you are not responsible to cover their medical or whatever
Do
happens.
we have that sign up?
Yeah, 'cause it's.
Let's get one.
I've always shown up at the Fourth Fest, but you know, it is a good idea just to have it on the fence.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have them coming in.
And we're gonna make some that says park board not responsible, to put up for the Easter egg.
I'd do 4 of them. Hard metal signs,
Yeah, you
strapped
got
to
loud
poles.
Write it up, and I'll have it made.
And lights that flash in a circle.
I have talked to David about, there are some, what are those called, those, with, that hold the signs, and you can open the door
A
and
pole?
put it inside, but they're on poles that you're supposed to post in your parks, or, they're not really that outrageously expensive, and we talked about maybe getting one here and one for over at Keeley, that you can change the sign out if
Can we
you
use
need
ARPA
to.
funds for that?
We can,
No, we
but
talked
it
about
has
it
to
for.
be a line item.
Make a line item for the next meeting.
Okay.
Alright, 18B, donation to the park.
Well, let's go
Wait,
back.
we have
Oh,
to
wait a minute,
vote.
18A, we need a vote.
Yeah, do you want me to go ahead and switch it from
No, let's keep it there, 'cause it's already,
Right.
whatever makes it easiest, as long as nobody's tied together, I don't care. So, I make a motion that we allow the park board to continue using our PO box for mailing purposes only.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
As long as you got our back, Tom.
I do, and you said, you gave her that revised,
Yeah, I believe she received it.
18B, donation to the park, consideration of possible approval, denial, amendment, or revision of acceptance of a concrete slab donation for the batting cage at the park.
That's what I mean. Baseball coach asked me, I guess he's got some parents wanting to donate and put a concrete slab underneath the batting cage, and then put carpet on it, no carpet. And, or we're asking if they could, but it has to go through here first. I went and looked at it, talked to him. It's not gonna affect anything, it's not gonna be on top of anything, and it'll be sitting basically on top of the ground, they're not gonna dig down. So, if they moved or something like that, it wouldn't be that big a deal, it's only 3 inches thick.
No lines going under it, no electrical.
Nothing that, you know, if we had to move it or tear it up, we'd very
Just to keep everybody from standing in buttholes.
Yeah.
And then there could be in the future also the,
Is that a baseball hat you're wearing?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm just checking.
I didn't have anything to do with it, I'm learning about it right now, I got my own problem. But, and then also eventually they may wanna put concrete too over, both, warm-up pitching areas as well. There's no squares.
It won't be any cost to us, just if the parents do or whatever.
Alright, do I got a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Number 19, Department of Union City Court Clerk. No answer. 20, Mayor and Trustees reports. Upcoming events. I can't think of anything fantastic besides we're gonna have us a meeting.
Gay dinner,
Senior events coming up.
Easter egg hunt sometime.
Well, and, I was talking back and forth with Michelle a little bit today, I guess this would be considered events, or things coming up. But we have our garage sale, let me click on her.
Oh, that's under new business.
Oh, is that what we want to put it under?
It's on there.
Oh, okay,
Under
okay,
new
we'll wait
business.
then, sorry.
Yeah. Big trash day, you mean?
Yeah, that,
Yeah, our townwide garage sale is
Already
been
approved?
determined, yeah.
okay.
No executive session. Number 23, new business. Alright, back to Chief Taylor on his vehicle purchase.
So, Adam, what I propose we do, I don't know, my notes went over there. Like you said, 35,000 from your budget, huh?
What?
On
to the two.
for the two, vehicles from Mustang PD, cause to replace those, previously for 2 vehicles, 114,000, this is going to be 70 K. So, and then he wants to cover half of it with his budget, and then asking us to use capital improvement, funds to use for the other 35,000 for the second vehicle. But what I propose we do is use the general fund for it. Our general fund right now, hold on. Or, I'm sorry, no, yeah, 'cause our general fund right now is set at 234,912. So that would basically put it down to about 200,000, but, he says he can sell that vehicle, for between 14,000 and 15,000 to another, PD. And then we put that back into our general fund.
I only said capital improvement, cause there's like 600 and.
Yeah.
And nothing comes out of it, payroll or anything. comes
Can
out of it.
any of it come out of this asset forfeiture?
No,
Bummer. No kidding.
it cannot.
You think that's like one of the main things that would be allowed to go to?
Yeah.
But,
So the difference is that asset forfeiture money is state asset forfeiture money. State asset forfeiture money you can only use for drug enforcement related purposes. Federal asset forfeiture money you can use for pretty much anything, except payrolls.
How many total police cars we have?
Total
wrong, like, used to when we wrote traffic tickets and all those types of things, we put everything into a police, into the police account. But they were always basically living paycheck to paycheck, and then general fund was picking up the rest. What we've tried to move to is to where all ticket money, all money coming in goes into the general fund, and then we, as a community and as a general fund, write a check to the police department, just a specific budgeted amount that then Adam lives within. And what that's allowing them to do is slowly but surely over time, build up their own cushion in their account to where eventually most, if not all of these costs come from the police budget instead of coming from the general fund or from anything else. And so, in the past, they've never had an account that's able to build, you know, any kind of growth to it. And so, that's kind of been the long-term goal. Like right now, roughly the police department's, at like $287,580. And so, you know, the goal is to get that up to, you know, $1 million mark, continue to grow it. And then when we do need to make, vehicle purchases, that's on the PD to handle all that good stuff.
Is there a way to do a penny, what do you guys?
Penny sales tax.
Half penny or a penny?
1 cent.
1 cent sales tax to the police department?
My proposal would be do a sales tax as a public safety account, like what UConn does. UConn does a half-cent public safety sales tax, so it goes into one fund, and if PD, fire, whoever needs it, that they can use it.
And I'm open to that. The tough conversation for me becomes, you know, what's our sales tax in Union City right now? It's like
4%.
Yeah,
Right.
on top of the state 4.5, right? So 8.5. I'm sorry.
8.85.
Yeah, 8.85. And so, you know, I'm all for it because it's frustrating. When I first got onto this board, to see how we as small communities handle police budgets, it's a joke, to be honest with you. I mean, there's no money set aside for these guys. I mean, it's up to the cities through sales tax, ultimately through sales tax is where you primarily come up with your funds to try to fund those guys.
And the reason
But-
why I say it, and ultimately, the goal is to do a new city hall.
Yeah.
Wherever that may be, but all these guys are gonna have offices in there,
Yeah,
and to help bring back,
right.
to put some skin in the game for what they want in there, that's all I'm saying.
When you,
And to help out with that.
when y'all did that for the fire department, was it
it's not
so many
always
years?
on
50 years.
Town.
50
to do
years?
that.
50 years.
50 years, you were able to, so
I
that's,
don't know what year
that's
that
a
was.
It
substantial
was,
commitment.
about probably 21 years ago.
And to be honest, I haven't sat down and like,
24.
and ran like what the tax levels are in, let's say, I try to use examples of communities that are maybe triple our size, you know, so maybe a Tuttle, a Newcastle, some of those places, but like there for a while, Newcastle had stacked so many things on top like that, and their percentages got to a point to where, I mean, it was, in that general tri-city area, like nobody was trying to spend a dime in Newcastle, cause you could drive 5 more miles in Blanchard, Tuttle, anywhere else and spend your money and save 4% on everything you buy, and so it was really hurting Newcastle a lot. But I don't know what those percentages are today, and where that threshold is, but obviously, and I'm a big pusher for, like, the school's gonna have to build on, the school's gonna have to do some bond issues, the school's, you know, gonna continue to fall behind if we don't put some money back into our schools. And so, when we start passing things like that, it's, you know, let's say we can get away with 2 more cents, or maybe 2.5 more cents, that's how we divvy that up, but, I mean, hands down, that department in the school would be the 2 best places to put it, you know, especially if we can self-fund a new city hall out of these capital improvement funds and through, you know, we're getting to a point now where the conversation's getting real. If we can get some of that property over there sold off and some of that, I mean, we're getting to where we can put, you know, the 50 or 60% down to make that a reality, and.
Well, you know, Oklahoma's like only one of 3 states in the nation where municipalities can't draw out the Lorem tax.
Yeah.
And there's actually legislation that's going through, it probably won't make it through this session, but their legislators are actually pushing where, municipalities can assess ad valorem taxes for, you know, funding. I mean, you go to Texas and, you know, their police departments are funded by property tax.
Yeah. It would be a huge amount of stress relief for us as a town management to have an extra 0.5%, or, and yours is a penny? Yeah. And roughly what does that, I I forget the number, what it brings in for you, I know it fluctuates, but
If
just,
it's $100,000 sales tax, $25,000.
yeah, huh?
And so if it was $100,000,
25%.
it's 25%.
Of the sales tax.
So it'd be 25,000, it just depends on what that month does, but it's been maintaining right at 100,
Way up
hasn't it?
since we started bringing in more sales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, when we started this, you were just bringing in 3,000 or 4,000.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
5.
So, I say we,
But it has to go to,
why don't we just go ahead and start
people
putting
that.
together the stuff to put that on the ballot, see if we can do it.
For sales tax?
Mm-hmm. And word it is, whatever you said.
Your wife's the treasurer at the school, so we would, in my opinion, do we ask the school, or do we want to compete for that now, or
There's,
are we
there
hindering
is,
them? I'm just throwing
property
hypotheticals.
value.
All of our property taxes goes to the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're.
It's a property tax issue, I guess, yeah, that's true.
That's triple.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Doubled when they got the gym,
What happened?
just so you know.
What was it again?
I said on commercial property, as soon as they built the gym, it
Oh.
went up half
Yeah, no,
on commercial property.
But this is sales tax, that's property tax,
Yeah.
different, yeah.
that's true,
Kind of with sales tax, you're letting outsiders help you pay for it,
of course,
so to
yeah.
speak.
And renters.
But of course, if you get more, if you get more businesses, then this goes up, you know?
Yeah,
The
I-
city actually don't get anything from a,
So, let's get back to getting this man a vehicle.
Well, I mean, if y'all want his capital improvement, that's fine. I just, like I said, if he allows us to, the asset sell, that 15,000 come back, we're looking at 20,000 on our side.
Yeah, that's what, we're gonna drop about 20 grand
Yeah.
out of each account.
Yeah.
You wanna make the motion?
Yeah, do y'all want it out of capital improvement, or do you want it out of general?
I think, well, can we get it out of capital?
I'm just trying,
you
I
can do
mean,
anything with capital improvement, you put it in there.
I just wanna keep seeing that capital improvement grow.
Give us a Liberty National, they can handle it.
Well, I guess
Put them-
split it, take
put
half
them to
out of one,
use.
half out of the other.
Yeah, we can do that too, I mean, we can do half and half,
Whatever that bank is, what is that bank down there?
just trying to make it.
Over here. Oh, First National?
First
First
National.
Yeah.
Well, will that police vehicle, will these vehicles ever be used if we had a water line break? Block off the road?
Yeah. We're making that joke because the Union City Municipal Authority funds at $615,000, we can't really use it for anything.
Yeah.
We're all
You
trying
can use it for that building.
Yeah.
Just look at who's over what two accounts, and look at the process.
Amen. I think you're in charge of all finances moving forward, starting tomorrow.
Oh, really? My problem is, I'm getting ready to buy a fire truck, and that take, where do we go with it? Been saving like a kid with a penny bank trying to get this.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day, let's just do capital improvement, so it's one account, and then, so I make a motion, the agenda item number, oh, here it is, that's gonna be under new business. So I make a motion that we approve the vehicle purchase of 2 vehicles, for $70,000 from the, city of Mustang, $35,000 coming from the police budget, $35,000 coming from capital improvement, and the asset sale going back to capital improvement.
I
Of
second that.
one vehicle.
Can you swivel them down anymore?
That's pretty darn cheap.
That's not a lot more than it costs us to outfit them.
We're gonna be saving $44,000
You get 4 tires
basically on
for
the
that.
2 vehicles.
How are the tires on this vehicle?
I'll make sure Rob spruces them up before he gets them to us.
Oil changes.
Alright, motion and second, all those in favor? Aye, motion approved.
One more quick thing, so what we were talking
Do we
about.
need to add in that motion that sell from the other car bids like that?
Yeah, that's, I said it, that's the asset sale back to capital improvement fund, so. The other thing was, June 8th is when we're having our citywide, garage sale, and setting it up with, David at OEMA to do large trash day on, pickup on the 15th, which is a Saturday, so the community would be able to put out their trash starting from the 10th through the 14th of June. And that'll be on the next agenda.
They got some more to go with those stuff that didn't sell at the garage sale.
Correct, yeah, we did that last year, and I kinda liked it, I thought it worked well, so. Garage sale June 8th, and then big trash day on June 15th. He's getting, in contact with the third parties that are gonna pick everything up to make sure that that date's available for us, and then we'll lock it in on the
Sounds good.
next board meeting. And then, I'm sorry, no, you go ahead.
When you're finished.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm switching gears, go ahead.
Okay. Today in the mail came the check, the REAP check, and I didn't have it on the agenda to pay Trinity Circus the $20,260, but I'd like to go ahead and get them paid and then, put on the next agenda to approve it.
Wasn't that already
Yeah, we
approved?
won last one, we approved it.
They didn't approve us to pay,
Oh,
I thought it was.
I thought it was.
Can we not just do it as new business?
that's what I'm asking right now, if we can put it there.
And we're paying them to what?
The generator.
Oh,
The
really?
REAP money, we just got the check.
Do they have a
today.
repo guy?
$270,000?
$20,260.
Son of a gun.
That's a good generator.
I deposited the money into REAP today, and then I was wanting to go ahead and get that company paid, just because, I hated to make them wait a whole nother month.
Under new business, I make a motion that we go ahead and pay Trinity $20,000 and their change for the new generator. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion to second, all those in favor? Aye.
Change gears. One more quick thing, last meeting, and I meant to make it an agenda item, but last meeting, we were talking about the scoreboard, at the ballpark, needing, because the lights and stuff aren't working properly, we're having issues with the control box and stuff too as well. So I did some research to find out who originally paid for that scoreboard, and Griggs said that Bank of Union originally purchased that scoreboard and had that scoreboard put in. And then they, of course, that's why it had Bank of Union on the actual scoreboard in large letters. Huh? Well, yeah, then, years went by, and what little maintenance it needed, the schools covered, but then when we moved the school board from the old location to where it's currently located, we, the town board, approved to have that moved at a cost of like $7,000, I think it was. And they moved the school board, to the location where it's at now, and then when, Bank First purchased Bank of Union, I'm assuming they must have employees that cover asset purchasing, and they go around to those types of things and update all, because Bank First came in and, updated the sign on there and took off Bank of Union and put the new one on there. They didn't pay anything to do that, they just did it. So maybe they feel like they have ownership in that. So I'm gonna reach out to them and see.
Here's the way I pitch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think, if they own it and they wanna put their name on it and keep it on there, then they have to continue to maintain it. If they don't choose to maintain it, then I wanna either potentially reach out to other businesses or, circle back to us as a board about it, but I think that they will cover the update on it if they wanna continue to keep their name on it.
Well, that's what
my
I'm
thought.
saying, is I would offer them that, and let them know that our next stop is our other bank.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, there's that larger oil field
How
company.
much did the scoreboard go for today on the auction?
How much does the scoreboard go for? Oh, just sell it?
There was one on auction today.
Oh, was there? So, and there's a small one in Wrightsville, it just has two boards on it. Supposedly, that one hasn't worked in many years, and they have it sold to another school, or another school's taking it. I don't know if they sold it, but another school's taking it, and they're gonna try to.
Is it ours?
No, I was, one of my questions, I don't know, that's why I'm kinda just trying to dig into all of this, and it's kind of a mess, obviously, but.
Gina?
That sounds like they need to use spaghetti dinner money.
Yeah. Well, and I understand that too, but at the same time, I mean, there are a lot of parents right now donating a lot of money to try to, I mean, they put, $7,000-8,000 into the field, they've done dirt, they paid for 4 different tractors to come in and do all the dirt work and stuff. Obviously the concrete pads, the new nets, I mean, there's a lot of things that
Jeff,
we as
how many
parents are
spaghetti
funding.
dinners would you purchase?
Oh, I wouldn't go.
So,
What if we upped it to ramen? I heard we had some spare ramen.
I could eat in my house.
but, so that's if y'all are okay with that, I'm circling back to Bank First.
Yes.
I'm circling back to Bank First and ask them if they're willing to help us with this since they
If
purchased
they're
it
not, let
originally.
me know.
Yeah.
I kinda got an insight over that, man.
I don't know how the legalities works, though, if they're unwilling to make the updates and they originally purchased it, I don't know that you can remove their name off of it because they're the original purchasers. But Bank of Union,
Inside their building with a brand new one,
Yeah.
plate.
and
and
Did Union contribute or donate that? Do you remember, Gino, whether Union,
Bank of Union?
yeah, Bank of
I
Union?
think so, but
They
then I think, like you
donated?
said, I think Bank First did something to it after that, correct?
no, they, all they did was just change the name on it from Bank Union to Bank First. To my knowledge, and the only other three sources I got have said that
When,
Bank First has not put any money into it other than changing their name on the sign.
when the city paid to move it,
Yes.
we also paid to get everything working at that particular time.
Yes, that time, yes, yes, yes. But it was King Electric, I believe was who it was.
It was
more
and
like.
they donated a lot of that.
Yeah, and it was, I can't remember, I just know they were just trying to thank,
We helped
you
them
know.
do stuff, it was major, that
Yeah.
thing's huge.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it, but,
But,
I know at that point, the city paid to get it fixed, so I think the pay, you know.
Yeah.
Brian Dawson?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.